All right, guys and girls, what's going on? This is Liam Murphy, a three-time NFL best ball champion, here today to stream a drafters stream. Back at it with drafters. I'm at a healthy amount of best ball mania, so I want to get more drafters actions down. Today, there's no dead time. Jumping right into the stream. I joined and I noticed it was 10 out of 12. So for my daily live stream, figured I would do this. Didn't end up doing a video on Friday, so sorry for those who look forward to a live stream every weekday. We missed one day. Get them next time. I did release a recorded video on my chess tournament. Ended up playing 2 chess tournaments this weekend. And you can watch that after the stream. So drafters, for those who don't know, unlike Underdog, does not have playoff weeks. It is a total points format, PPR. If you would like to sign up, the promo code to do that is in the description below. You can receive a $100 deposit match up to $100. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. We're on our quest to 2,000 subscribers. What's up, Cal? Be cool. Said got his Underdog cardio draft in this morning. Good workout. Way to go. Graham, good morning. I'm going to do my workout after this. Just ate breakfast. Then I'm going to okay. Yeah, we'll just take digs here. Gotta edit this video actually. One moment here. Okay. Okay, all set. All right. Yeah, going to get my workout in after this. Need to update the workout thread too. Forgot to do that yesterday. It's May 22nd. I'm going to Vegas May 30th. So that will be no more daily best ball streams for me by then. Might even cut it after this week. This might be the last week. And no streams for me 29th, the day before I leave, Gotta spend time with the girlfriend, of course, and some family. What's your chess rating? The Haminator asks. USCF, I'm pretty low right now for my abilities, like 1840, I think, after this weekend. FIDE, I'm like 2050. Online, I'm around 2000. Okay. So, Garrett Wilson, literally the only drawback of Garrett Wilson is if Rodgers doesn't integrate him. Let's bet he does, though. Get a nice division stack here. Get 2 games where the Bills and the Jets play each other. Why not? I don't pretend to have everything hammered down on drafters, but I do think different strategies are viable. We got our shout out Eagles. He's a grinder. Man does. I do a lot of best ball drafts, but this dude maxes like all the puppies and whatnot. I don't think that's for everyone, but that's what he does. So, going to have on Michael Leone tomorrow of Establish the Run. That will be a fun chat. Going to go through his best ball manifesto, see what we can apply from that, and just talk it up with him. It's been a hard man to book. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. Along with having Michael on tomorrow, going to have Calby Cool says Eagles is a grinder. You say that like I'm not. Just kidding with you. I played 2 chess tournaments this weekend. Hard to find the time to play the chess, honestly, but might start working on my chess, try to make a push for 2,000 or master 2,200. Couldn't see myself trying to get much above that. I think it's doable. if I'm practicing daily. But I gonna have a second video out breaking down another chess tournament of mine where the police got called. So not gonna answer that today, but we'll handle those in that tournament or in that video. Haminator asked, do you play online poker? If so, on what sites? Michigan poker player here. Not really the Haminator. Honestly, like the worry that like I don't want to mess with I live in Florida. I don't want to mess with a VPN. I'm worried that I've heard bad things about ACR. I've heard there's bots. I've heard there's whatever. And so plus my job is playing fantasy football, so I can do that at home so far at least. And I do play the WSOP online though when I'm in Vegas. I'll often, when they have an online event, I'll usually play online while playing at the tournament too. Okay. Almost had folded to us. Got me poked. We're on the clock here. I got no problem taking the top ADP guy here. I like Metcalf. I understand the Metcalf Lockett splits, but Metcalf, grown freak of a dude, So we're starting a 0 RB here. We got Diggs, Wilson, Metcalf. Got to figure out running back. Always good to check on what other players in your lobby are doing for drafters. Keep in mind, you're not competing against, unlike other best ball drafts where you can think about, I'm competing with, just your lobby mates. You're competing with everyone in the contest. Nice thing about drafters too. I know the drafters video, like I see my views. I see the underdog videos get the most views. DraftKings videos get the next most views. It makes sense. Drafters gets the least views, but it's what you're getting today. But the nice thing about drafters is it's very likely to overlay, which basically gets rid of the rake and means that you're more likely to cash in their tournament. And it's easier to win when you're competing against less people. I know you're a best baller, but how do you fare in DFS? I pretty strictly play tournaments, so had a bad season last year, but that's tough for me here. Could go a couple players. Honestly, we'll just grab Amari this time. Amari was on my winning BBM2 team. So yeah, DFS, I don't know how much I'll play this year. We'll see. I played a lot last year because I had $1 million win. Had a bad year, but that's because I finished I got a couple top 10s in tournaments. And that's frankly not going to cut it in top heavy tournaments, right? 10K versus $1 million, big difference. So I think I'm okay at DFS, not the best. Continually evolving. I watch all the NFL games though. And I think I think my edge is greatest in DFS at the start of the season. And I think this is normal for anyone plugged into best ball, where there's no data then, so the people running optimizers either have their data is really fragile, they're making a lot of assumptions. And so if you have takes, if the guys who are going to rise in cost and salary, you can build strong teams early. So we got a 0 RB team, 2 overlapping buys. We do care about the buys a little bit more on a site like Drafters where, we can't have any bad weeks. The winning team last year averaged 160 points a week. So obviously if these 4 wideouts are locking in 20 points per wideout position and 20 points in the flex, great picks. You don't need your picks to be the nuts either in each round, especially at the top of drafts. What you do need is your guys can't get hurt too bad, or you need to be close enough. I think Cal Be Cool makes a good point here. He says DFS is a no-go for me now. The people who run optimizers can just max the contest and auto-generate lineups, take the fun out of it. Yeah, I think a lot of people would be better served allocating their bankroll towards best ball versus DFS for many reasons. Me too. You know, the difference is best ball takes a big time investment. DFS does too to play well, but you know, you guys know what I mean. Let's zoom in here, try to help you guys out, see some players. Okay. Maybe zoomed in a little too much there. Okay. So we need some wideouts. I mean, we need some running backs, quarterbacks, tight end. We're going to take Chris Godwin, though, one of the last wideouts I feel good about on a PPR site. I think he has outs to get traded. He's just has a pretty nice high floor. Ceiling combo. It's another week 5 buy. Not ideal, but is what it is. And with this group of 5, probably going to stop at 7 to 8, even as low as 6 wideouts, and just say, these guys are getting it done. Let's fill in the other spots. Go volume everywhere else. We don't want to start with 5 wide receivers and end with 10. A common mistake I see. Looks like the NFL's changed a slight rule. Teams are allowed to dress a third quarterback without using an active roster spot. Basically, aftermath from the San Francisco Eagles playoff game where they had to, they couldn't dress a third quarterback because they didn't want to. They wanted the other players, and therefore CMC was playing quarterback. I also believe we're about to get more suspensions in the NFL, where Adam Schefter earlier today tweeted out, after 5 players were suspended in April, the NFL is now investigating a second wave of potential violations of its gambling policy, sources tell ESPN. So who knows who's going to be suspended because of that, but we're about to see some shakeups, like everything's on the table. I don't know what that means. We could get full season suspensions for some stars in the NFL. Hopefully not, but unsure. Okay. So we need some running backs. I think it's close between Pierce and Swift for me. We've been taking a lot of Pierce, so we're gonna go Swift this time. Don't even need Swift to like be the RB1 and the Eagles to pay off. Just need him to have a couple spike weeks. And I take a lot of pennies, so. What's your take on the Cook Madison situation? I'll tell you after we get to those picks. As a professional, I don't talk about players who have not been drafted yet, because a lot of times we got people in the lobby listening, and I'm not trying to help them beat me, period. I used to not, before I won BBM2, I used to see a lot of fantasy football takes I disagreed with in Discord or whatever, in like Pete's Discord or whatever. And I very rarely would say anything because I just didn't, what's the incentive for me to help other people? Where if I think I'm right and other people are wrong, what do I gain by telling people they're wrong or convincing them that I'm right? I don't gain anything. I hurt myself. Now, some people just can't help themselves and want to feel like the smartest in the room. We see this a lot in fantasy football. I think it's different when you're in the content space. Totally fine to try to help people, but that's how I used to view it, which is more akin to like competitive gambling spaces like poker. But fantasy football doesn't like fantasy football has a lot of people trying to convince people to do what they think is best. Interestingly, just a funny little quirk compared to poker. Like, you don't see that in poker. Like, you don't see people. I mean, you see the fish at the table berating someone when they make a bad play. Obviously, that's stupid. Don't do that. But you don't see, just people like, this is right and this is wrong. Here's how to do better on tournaments for free or something. Okay. We're going to grab a Madison share here. Haminator asked about Cook Madison. Yeah, I think this is a time to be buying Madison where, I don't know, he's on the Vikings banner. Seems unlikely Dalvin Cook's going to be there. A little bit of talent questions with the guy. Like, he kind of sucked last year after being real solid the other years. Still think that team's going to pass more, but hey, potentially he's like after the Ken Walker tier soon, when Cook is cut. So I don't really know, but I've been buying some Madison, fully recognizing that he could burn me. I just didn't really have any before. And then also, I'm not really buying Dalvin Cook because I think he's going to fall in cost, and he's old. Which Week 17 stack do you think will be the most popular drafted? CeeDee Lamb and Sun God, Tyreek Hill, Lamar plus Andrews are my guesses. Definitely not Tyreek, Lamar, Andrews. That requires reaching in the market, which people just naturally don't like to do. I'll go with like Chase Mahomes is going to be very common. Higgins Mahomes combos, trying to get Chiefs Bengals, and then I think the JT Devontae Adams combo will be popular. I think the Lamb Amon-Ra combo will be popular. At the top of drafts, at least. Okay. So, here we'll grab a Deshaun Watson share, stacks with Amari Cooper. Don't have a lot of Watson. Obviously, there are still outs for him to get back on the Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes level of player at the quarterback position, which in the 8th round would be an absolute smash. Also potentially sucks. So we clearly need more running backs. Wouldn't hate getting some tight ends too. Most of the elite ones are gone. Maybe all of the elite ones, but we got a pretty decent group of players, especially at wide receiver. Again, guys, if you appreciate this content, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'm at 41 drafters drafts. Wouldn't hate to get around 50 before I leave for Vegas so I don't have to do 150 when I get back. At least got a third of them done. I'm over 50 BBM 4s. I've done very few DraftKings ones. Again, tomorrow we're going to have on Michael Leone. So come with your questions for that stream. I'm going to join the DraftKings high stakes 555 lobby because it looks like it's close to getting one to fill over there. And I really don't like doing slows. So got 6 out of 12 there. So we're going to sit in there too. Obviously, if that fills while I'm on stream, going to multi-table and care way more about the 555. Okay. I don't have a single Javonte Williams share, and I don't really feel like grabbing Njoku. So let's grab a Javonte share. I think he's really not sure which site he's better on. I think he's better on a PPR site because he catches passes in theory. But, to be a good pick on drafters, he has to return by week 6 by the latest. The nice thing about on Underdog is you don't need him to return really at all. You just need to get him into the playoffs and him to be fine by then. So I don't know. I've been scared away off by Javonte, but we'll grab a share here. Don't want to grab Penny with that pick with me having Swift. Just a little bit too much there. Njoku goes. That's fine. This lets us see players and zoom in. Penny goes. Wow. Let's grab AJ Dillon. We need running backs. Got a different buy. He's got, he's going to have usable weeks with or without Aaron Jones there. And if the Packers suck, Aaron Jones could be traded at the trade deadline. Aaron Jones is also getting old. So I think he is correctly ranked after all of these guys. Maybe not Brian Robinson. Hard to say there, but, still an athletic freak, dude. And we need bodies, especially with us having Javonte. Juju is this year's Josh Jacobs? Absolutely not. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your comment. Just literally can't do the same thing. Thank you for answering my questions. Played basketball on FFPC last year. My best teams is where I bullied tight end, Kelsey, Kittle, Goddard. Do you ever just run it back with as many of the same guys as previous year? Sometimes. I especially try to draft the guys that win me a lot of money. Talk through not wanting Njoku there. Seemed auto. Just think he's overpriced, which on a site like Underdog, I don't care about as much. Because if the player has a good week, they have a good week. Like, who cares? But I just think I could get similar production at the tight end for cheaper. And these are some of the last running back picks you feel have upside. So basically, David Njoku, tight end 1, is on the horizon. Okay. Well, we need a tight end. Let's grab Dalton Schultz. I think Schultz is not sexy. Like, we don't love his. I don't know what the fuck's going on with this layout. We're gonna have to zoom out a little bit. He's not sexy, but could he totally give you like around 10 points as a floor with catch 6 touchdowns on the year, hit 20 points those week? Yes. Offers a late stack, big tier break from Schultz to the rest of the tight ends to me. There's some downside if the offense is that brutal, but I'm expecting it to be better with CJ Stroud. Probably pretty easy schedule for the Texans. And yeah, you need to count on your tight ends at least giving you 10 points a week. You can't be taking 5 points a week at tight end. Obviously, if you're getting a 50 from your wideout, you can survive a week on average. But on average, tight end needs to average 10 to 15 to probably win. And it's a thin bet winning without one of the elite guys, I think. Okay. So really gross. A lot of guys are gone that we would like. I have no Khalil Herbert shares, so let's get him. He fell well past ADP here. Still a very talented runner, even though if Rashawn Johnson did not get drafted there, I'd have a lot of Herbert and Deontay Foreman. So I don't want to let that totally blind me. It's a team that wants to run the ball in the Bears. The offense should be better. Year 3 of Fields. They're bringing in weapons. They're bringing in a line. All he needs to do is have 3 to 4 spike weeks. And the upside is there. He could just be good enough or so good that he doesn't allow the other dudes on the field. So I think he's a great guy to take well past ADP. So we got a pretty balanced build going on, except that QB and tight end. We got bodies at the running back position. Is it good enough? Maybe. Wideout, we're definitely feeling good about. We do have some buy problems there, which we'll sort out. Makes me want to, I don't think this is a 6 wide receiver build because week 5, 3 of our wideouts have a bye. So it could just be too brutal that week. The worst thing is when you build a tournament winning team that would have won the tournament, except you eat 80 points one week because of your buys. So probably need at least 2 more wideouts. To be determined, quarterback and tight end. Could go 2 quarterback, could go 2 tight end, could go 3 at both positions as well. Pretty flexible to take what comes to us. Okay, so Roshan would be handcuffing the running back position or just saying alternate weeks type deal. Let's do that. I don't have a problem with that. Some people think Roshan's going to be the third down back, pass game back, which is fine. If it's Herbert getting early downs and Roshan's getting pass game, or really the ideal world is I don't know, Herbert gives me some usable weeks 1 through 7, then Roshan does, then it's back to Herbert. Obviously the nuts would be they just trade off usable weeks. No reason that can't happen. And again, it's a team that wants to run the ball. I imagine the Bears' schedule is pretty easy. I could look that up, but we're not getting that sweaty. But we're going to look it up anyways. Okay. Teams they could run the ball against. Packers, yes. Bucks, yes. Chiefs, no. Broncos, yes. Commanders, yes. Vikings, probably. Raiders, yes. Chargers, probably. But maybe not if they get down. Saints, probably. Panthers, yes. Lions, yes. Vikings, yes. Lions, yes. Browns, yes. Cardinals, definitely. Falcons, definitely. So only one elite offense they're playing in the Chiefs. Chargers games are iffy, but The point is they're probably going to be in a lot of game scripts, so they're not going to be forced to pass. Paul, what's up, Paul? What middle round running backs do you like to take? For me, is Javonte and Rashad White. I don't know. I like a lot of them. Those aren't two of my favorites, but I'm wrong on running back every year. So let me focus real quick here. I think running back makes sense. I think tight end makes sense. I think wideout makes sense. We are gonna go Isaiah Hodgins though at wideout. Still major downside with Hodgins if he is usurped, but there's upside too. Feel good about him as the wideout 6. He's definitely rising in cost, especially on drafters. Will asking me, not for financial advice, of course. He says, do you have any online poker site suggestions? I'm not in legal state. Again, Will, not financial advice, but I think you could probably play ACR. Not that I recommend circumnavigating the laws. Luke asked me, when stacking, what's the most players from one team you're comfortable with? The answer is dependent, Luke, based on the cost of the players and my perceived strength of the team. So like, do I want 4 pieces of the Bears passing game? No. It also depends on what format I'm playing. I think drafters is a different equation than underdog and DraftKings. So, pretty logical though. The good offenses, I'm willing to take more players on in both formats. So we're going to be pretty weak at tight end. It's fine. Might even draft 4 of them. Schultz would have had a great year last year if he didn't get hurt. Mini tier break at quarterback, so we'll take CJ Stroud. There's some guys I like to gamble on late, but they have a lot of uncertainty. Stroud, we're confident he's going to play the whole season and be fine. Like Lance is a higher upside play, but we don't know if he's playing the whole season. He's the type of guy I would gamble on later. Stroud obviously also stacks with our tight end. Who do you think will be the Bills' RB1 and RB2 with the acquisition of Latavius Murray? I mean, I think Cook and Damian Harris are going to get most of the work. However, I recognize that there are outs where Damian, especially, is usurped by Latavius. But, dude, Latavius is very old. I was fading Latavius is 33. He played fine last year, but I was fading him last year in I faded him in BP2 based on age. And it's like, look, dude, if a 33-year-old running back beats me, God bless them. Okay, a lot of ways we could go here. We're going to grab Chuba, though. Pretty big tier break from him to the other guys. The offense is a team that wants to run the ball. The Panthers probably have a pretty easy schedule, too. Let's see how many good offenses they play. This is not showing you guys, I realized. But, okay, so they play the Falcons. They can run the ball against. The Saints. Yep. Seahawks, yep. Vikings, yep. Lions, yep. Dolphins, maybe. Texans, yep. Colts, yep. Bears, yep. Cowboys, maybe. Titans, probably. Bucks, yes. Saints, probably. Falcons, probably. Packers. So, yeah. What you don't want to see is the Panthers play the Bills and the Chiefs and the Bengals. That would be a bad schedule for running the ball. But Chuba, probably the clear RB2 to Miles Sanders, but, Probably a team unlikely to sign Zeke and gang. So we feel good about this room of 7 RBs. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 picks left here. Taysom Hill goes. I was going to take him too. Considered him. It's obviously worse on a site like Drafters than Underdog. Gotta be cool. You did it to yourself. Do not complain about slow drafting on this channel. You will not find a sympathetic ear. The poll result is in. I asked on Twitter, if Trey Lance was traded, who would trade for him? Got nearly 280 votes. And the answer you guys settled on with 36.7% of the vote is the Falcons. Bucks, second leading team with 31.5%. Commanders and Patriots both around 15%. Damn. All the tight ends I wanted pretty much off the board. Conklin goes. So, fuck it. We'll figure it out. Probably want one more wideout too. Could also go a third quarterback, but might just have to count on Deshaun. The tough thing about counting on Deshaun is Nick Chubb is there. And like, if he's just getting a bunch of touchdowns, it's hard, it's hard for it to be Deshaun and Chubb. Making a sweat here all the way down. Okay, and Michael Mayer, easy pick for our team. ADP value. We need a tight end. Yeah, I don't like him as much as Laporta and Kincaid, but potential upsides there attached to Jimmy G. We could can't stack Jimmy G. Not that I'd want to. But feeling better about my tight end room with Schultz and Mayer. They're probably like pretty similar players too. Yeah, Mayer's a rookie, but it's gonna be aight. I think it's dead, Josh, because you drafted with me. Just kidding. Take a look in a second here. Josh asked, I'm drafting at the 4 spot. What'd you think of my team? Not my favorite pick here, but we're going to go Cedric Tillman to stack with Deshaun. Yeah, it's another week 5 bye guy. Once we get through week 5, though, it's pretty nice. The rest of our team's not on bye. So right now we'd have to depend on Hodgins, Garrett Wilson, and Diggs for our 3 wideout spots week 5. It's thin. Maybe I add another wideout. Maybe I don't. The 4 spot. Let's see what you got cooking. You got 2672, Jones and Carr, Stevenson, Akers, Gibson, Algier, Bigsby, Chase Brown, Fournette, Kupp, Higgins, Judy, McLaurin, MT, and OBJ, Kyle Pitts, and Tyler Conklin. I think you're a little too weak at quarterback, but the team overall seems pretty good to me. I don't got any complaints about it, but it's just like, I don't know. The Jones Carr, you're just like, you really need to get like some 30-point weeks out of Carr. And obviously, you bet on Michael Thomas, so it makes sense. Could this team win? Yes. Do I think Jones and Carr are likely to be the nuts at QB? No. Luke's saying, I feel like the Texans could be this year's Seahawks for fantasy. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel that way. I draft quite a bit of Texans based on cost of them. But like, I don't think there's any, like who's their DK Metcalf? Who is their Tyler Lockett? Who is their, you know, what Geno Smith did is no joke either. Now, they do have a good O-line. They do have a run game. There is some potential upside in the Nico Collins and John Mechie and some of these guys, but it's unlikely that a rookie QB is just like leading them right to the promised land. Oh man, we might be passing on tight end because when you see Cade Otton and Noah Fant go in the 18th and 19th to Eagles, rough room. Oh, and our friend, the got tacos, Terry Tacos added Tannehill. So let's see here. Let's take let's take Luke Musgrave. It's not working for me right now, so we put him in our queue. Let's hope that works. Okay, we auto Musgrave. So yeah, I mean Musgrave, another rookie. It's thin because A, it's the Packers. B, while he was highly drafted, another dude was drafted in the 3rd round. So I don't, but bonus is that he's going to be low owned. We don't really need him to contribute in the beginning with us having Schultz and Mayer's probably seen the field. I don't really take any Baker Mayfield, but we have Godwin. Godwin's less likely to be traded than Mike Evans. I don't feel Baker has the upside, but I didn't really feel that Geno did either, and then he did. And is it going to be shocking if he can get it going with Chris Godwin, Mike Evans? Not really. Don't really need him to either. He's another week 5 guy. So this is a thin team, but here's the case for it winning. Obviously, need one of Javonte or Madison or Dylan or Herbert and Roshan or Chuba to be giving you what McKinnon and Mostert and Josh Jacobs and Kenneth Walker and Ramondre did last year. Need some of these guys to hit. Need Swift to have some usable weeks. Need Watson to have a good year. Less of Chubb. Stroud and Mayfield fill in any cracks. I think the Baker pick is thin. Adding the 3rd quarterback probably should have stopped at 2. Need my wide receivers to mash. Diggs to give me some 40-point games. Wilson to give me plenty of 30. Metcalf to give me plenty of 30. Cooper to give me a couple. Godwin to have some great games or get traded to the Chiefs. Hodgins to remain a usable resource there, and Tillman to get on the field and either usurp DPJ or just become part of the rotation. And really need Diggs, Wilson, and Hodgins to have a good week 5. It's nice that my 1st and 2nd round picks do not have a bye week 5. So at least I'm locking in Diggs and Wilson. So even if Hodgins is a 0, if these two can go for 20 that week, we're fine enough. And then all of our buys are behind us with all the week 5 guys clear to play. And then need Schultz, Mayer, and Musgrave to just do good enough. If there's an elite tight end out there who does 20 points per week, need this crew to muster together 15-ish a week combined. Most likely it's Schultz, which is nice that it's stacked with Stroud, but all right, guys. So that is our team for today. Not my favorite team, not my least favorite team I've ever drafted on Drafters. I'll be back tomorrow with both my second chess tournament game when the police was called. And then also going to be going live with Mike Leone of ETR. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, turn on the bell button so you never miss any content I do. And have a great day, guys. Peace out. Luke asked, do you see a lot more big trades during the season like McCaffrey last year? Luke, I would suggest you go into my recorded video section. I made a whole video on the subject about players we could see traded, and I talk a lot about that concept there. Peace.